Good evening and welcome back to another episode of Mad Mondays.
We nailed that clap bit.
I was going to say...
Milos, you led as well. We've never heard the song. It's beautiful.
No, but I could just tell you were going to be at one and clap out, and you were. It was absolutely perfect. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode. We have a very special guests with us tonight.
The big dog himself.
The big dog from the Big Dog Pod, Andrew Milos. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Oh, thank you for having me, guys. Thank you so much. I've come here to teach you guys how to clap, apparently. Yeah. That's okay. It's all right. I've made it, Mum. I'm on a podcast with a couple of the footy boys teaching you guys how to clap.
Teaching grown men to clap. Where were the parents? Where were our parents?
It's the night supporters in us that we've just forgotten how to clap. We've forgotten how to applaud anything that might be the remotely happy about anything happening on the field. But we're going to move past it.
Well, how was the season been? Like, I would like to ask you guys, as a Knights, you supporters, what do you guys think of the season that just passed?
Lots of positives.
Yep.
Obviously, more negatives than positives. Much more negatives, actually. But still, enough positives that I'm hopeful for the years coming. I'm buoyant. I'm hopeful. I think we've got the makings of a good thing.
It's like the expression, it's always darkest before the dawn. But if it was this dark in your house for this long, you just move. Like you're just go.
It's like we're living in Greenland up here. We've got 4 months of dark.
4 months of darkness
a year.
But yeah, it's about right. It's about 4 months out of the total.
But now
6.
the Knights are done. Have you guys found yourself supporting like fourth tier lawn bowls from
I just watched
Bulgaria?
I just watched the replays on the NRL website.
Really?
Yeah, I can't stop.
So
every weekend.
Still changing we lost again.
Yeah.
I always found it tough as an NRL supporter because it was only NRL that I really watched, and then these other sports like NBA, and then it's like this like they play. I don't know how many games they play a season.
96, I think, in the NBA.
Stupid.
The baseball's up over 100.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's ridiculous.
And
How can one keep up with that? I can't keep up with one game per week from one team.
Yeah.
And these competitions expect me to keep up with many hundreds of games throughout the year with 30-odd... I can't just do it.
I don't understand a lot of sports, but there was a new sport.
Next season, Nagy's been replaced from Dolores down the road. Yeah. Shout out to the groceries down the shops.
Mate, Dolores, we've had her in for her shortbread for years, and her footy commentary's come along in leaps and bounds. It's amazing.
How many piss breaks do you have?
No, we just give her a cup.
Okay.
She's a cup.
She's still here. Hey, Dolores, how are you?
We have to record at 2 PM just after she's had dinner, though.
She's all bagged up these days. It's fine.
The Joust Mad Monday is sponsored by Prune Juice, guys. Thank you so much if you guys want to check out some Prune Juice, which I've siphoned into this Takata.
Whatever happened to whoever was animating the Sunraysia ads?
Oh, where the
they
Granny's
must have
Granny?
made. Yeah, where's the Granny? What happened to those ads? That animator must have made $1 million off that.
I think all the grannies died, so that it wasn't relevant anymore.
Where's the granny growl? That's right, she's passed.
She's passed. That's the right way to say it.
And so's the use-by date back on the juice. But other sports that I don't understand, one happened in Newcastle this very weekend that we've just passed. The supercars.
Oh, yeah.
Which I've only really just gotten used to saying supercars and not been looked at like an idiot. Like they're like such
No,
great...
they're still looking at you like an idiot, mate.
They're like it's a strange thing. It's like they're such good cars. They're almost like a super version of a regular car, and that's what we have. But did you boys catch much of the supercars on the?
No, that's the first time I realised that it was.
Oh, actually, I did. We had it on television at work, and I'll tell you what. Newcastle looked absolutely stunning on the television for the race. The weather was good. The filming was amazing. That honestly, I'm going to go back in years and we're going to look at that supercar ad and say, that's how you advertise a goddamn town. I think it was great for the city.
Newcastle was like that friend's sister that was always just the sister. And then out of nowhere...
she turned into... what was the female Transformer? Yeah, it was one of those ones.
Yeah.
They had those?
Yeah, there was girl Transformers.
Oh.
Sassy? Was it Sassy?
I didn't watch too much of the anime. There. Was it?
Your listeners would be like, now you're talking about Transformers and grandmas.
And women ones?
The least popular of all the Transformers. But no, I was like, the city was engulfed.
A buzz.
Yeah, it was. There was there was lots of visitors to the place, which is new for Newcastle.
We don't get that often,
No, but it seems to be like a turning of the tide. And obviously, it was great to see all the Newcastle East residents being so dramatically
annoyed.
Incorrect. And incorrect about something that's going to be like terrible for the town, but it wasn't. It was, and it was besides a bloke, I think, getting his leg broken by a stray tire.
Really?
Yeah.
Was that him just changing a car tire down the road in Wall's End or something?
Yeah, he was just working.
Fuck the supercars.
He was just working at RG Tyres, and the jack fell on him. He had a really rough weekend. There was one arrest.
Was there?
One man tried to fight security, but was arrested promptly. I mean, what a great result.
Just one man trying to start a revolution
Like
against the supercars. Bring back the figs.
But I mean, on any average weekend in Newcastle, there is, 200 to 300 fights.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
for a weekend where they packed, I think, 150,000 extra people in on top of that, to only have one arrest, really let us down. I mean, get your shit together, Newcastle. That was embarrassing.
No, it was
one arrest.
I'm looking forward to
Star Hotel Ride is looking down on us and crying in shame.
Well, at least all those people that have left the V8s now, they've gone on their trip to Bali, their seasonal trip to Bali. They can get their bintang singlets and their bootleg DVDs of the V8 supercars already.
And for the women,
grand.
hair braiding.
Yeah, that's sure.
And it was, but the track was small. The cars went around a few times, and then there was a winner.
That's usually how it works. That's usually how it works.
It was a small track because I remember they started, and I went out to clear some glasses at work, and then I went out for a cigarette and came back in, and they'd finished.
That was it.
It's like, really? People spent a whole weekend for like 10 minutes?
So how much drugs? How much drugs did you have before you did the glasses? Like for the 3 days to go?
When I was at work, so only half what I usually do. I tend to cut back.
Oh, that race was quick. You've been awake for 3 days.
It's not a job I have. It's just a place I go. They tell me I work there, and they give me a shirt. It's really sweet. It's nice.
The only thing that could really disrupt the aging community of Newcastle East, even more than the disappointment of the supercars, was the disappointment of their Lord and Saviour Don Burke being found of sexual misconduct. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. It's
Donald Burke.
This was a double whammy for all the over 60s in East End, and it was. I'm not sure. I was speaking to you boys earlier, and you didn't know too much about this. It was big news today.
No.
This is huge news, and I've only heard the headlines. What's beneath the headlines?
So this is Donald Burke, the guy that used to have the ABC show about roots and shit.
Roots, weren't they ever
went
roots?
To Channel 9, remember, because
from ABC to
he went
Channel
from ABC
9.
to Channel 9 because Peter Cundall, I imagine, there at ABC, is licking his lips. He goes, "Oh yes, no, I haven't raped anybody." Cundall's just hit the top of Australian gardening television programming. He's just, he didn't even have to do anything. He was kind of number 1.5, number 2 behind Burke, but it's all Cundall now.
It's all Cundall.
Peter Cundall has well and truly wrapped up the Australian gardening television market,
which is great.
Genius move.
Because you recently had the Cheese TV guys on the pod, and that was
they were touched by Don Burke. What did they have to say?
Oh, Jesus Christ! Stay out of that. I'm not too sure. I don't get into what they've. Yeah, what they've touched and what they haven't. But let's just say they're not allowed back at Channel 10 anytime soon.
That's the reason why it was cut so short. Now, what was the Cheese TV guy that had the Peter Cundall impression?
That was Ryan.
Razor? No, I made that up.
Ryan, which was great. It was pretty great because, not to name drop or anything, but those guys came out with us afterwards to the Lasagari, which was amazing. And our sound dude, Elliot, who you cannot see, unfortunately, but beautiful boy over there, just goes, "I just met Cundall." I'm like, "No, Ryan's been here for a minute." He goes, "Nah, Cundall's super pissed in the toilet doing the voice." And I was like, "Boy, what do you mean?"
That's brilliant. It's really nice when we get visitors to the town. And I think the Lasagari couldn't have been a better place to take new people. It seems like it's probably the most as far as the hipster latte sipping roll your own cigarettes kind of a crowd. It has to be.
What?
That's all. Come on,
a normal person.
No, this is like the culture.
We all drink lattes and roll around cigarettes.
Yeah, no, that's just what you see in the pubs these days. It's moved on.
You said the pub all the time. What do you mean? They've said at every venue in Newcastle, "Are you one of those coffee shops that sell coffee?"
Yeah, it's like that. But it's like it's the change. It's the change from the. From
our old convict past.
The blue collar workers, where it was more like
wake me when you sell fights and bintangs.
It was like, and now it's sort of more like, let's get the Cheese TV guys and listen to some really grassroots music
and watch some superb cars.
Yeah, all the best. But it was funny seeing the whole town sort of flip on its head to be like, this is...
it was the same thing that happened when they cut down the figs. There was that old, really annoying, loud people who were like, fix the figs, save the figs. And they come down and everyone's like, geez, it looks good.
I tell you,
it looks great up there. I really like what they've done with the place.
It's a great shot.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the most exposure that Newcastle East has got in a long time.
Since the Star Hotel, right?
That they just boarded it all up.
Yeah.
But I saw Peter Coombe at Northern Star about 5 years ago. That was pretty good. I don't know
what
if
was he doing at the Northern Star?
He does adult shows now. It's pretty much like what super
sex shows?
Sex shows?
Well, big boy shows. You know what I mean? Like 18+ shows and, you're up past your bedtime, guys.
Does he still talk like he's talking to children? Because this is like brush your teeth with newspaper.
Bubblegum. Yeah, bubblegum.
Yeah.
Fry an egg on a slippery dip.
Yeah, but it seems like a lot of those child entertainers are coming back. Like Super Hubert now, who's going to be part of the show, which you boys are this Saturday. Yeah, he's coming back. He's going to be Santa Claus for the night.
Now,
and,
Milos,
he's great.
I have an interesting theory on this. It's not my theory. It's my housemate's theory.
Okay.
But he spoke to me about it, so it's mine now.
Okay.
He spoke
Shout
about
out to your housemate. What's your housemate name?
Sean Stevenson, listening.
Is he watching?
There at home? I hope so. Please listen to the show, Sean.
Red Stew, you fucking dog.
But he talks about the 20-year cycle. So obviously, your Super Hubes, your Peter Coombs, these were big stars when we were children. They entertained us and they whisked us away to fantasy worlds. And now we've all reached adult life and realised it's completely shithouse and exhausting. We want to get whisked back to that mystery world. It's like me, I go to sleep before bed every night and I think about Don Burke and what we used to do in the backyard and, you get whisked away. Do you think it's that kind of 20-year cycle of nostalgia where you're yearning for a simpler time because adult life is a bunch of shit? Is that it, Milos?
You can say that as well, but you can also say that talent is talent. Same with like when movies are kind of getting recycled. You see Star Wars coming back. You see, kind of like the Batman movies keep kind of recycling themselves. But good shit's good shit. And Super Hubert is so... Fuck, he's a Newcastle icon. Yeah, he's a timeless dude. Like, he'd do some jokes that will kind of cross a few boundaries that I wouldn't exactly do in 2017, pushing into 2018. But hey, look, it's an experience, and if you haven't seen him now...
It's comedy of a particular time.
Yeah, that's right. And you'll find yourself giggling at things you wouldn't, like fart jokes and a few other little things as well, and you're just like, yep, this is great. This is really good. So you let yourself go and... Yeah, but that type of stuff's timeless, though. Yeah,
it was funny that then you saying that there's things that you look at when you're a child and you're like, these are great, and then when you're an adult you're like, oh, these are shit. One of those things is my handwriting, right? Because at the time when I was a child, I thought my handwriting was at standard child handwriting. Now that I'm
now that Nagy's a big boy,
yeah,
his handwriting now, for listeners who can't see, is still not at childlike level.
Have we got a demonstration?
Got up.
It's bad. Look, I don't like what else.
No, I burned it all, Milos. It's all been burnt.
Look, let's just say it's easily the worst in the room, and that was the biggest disappointment because I had to reach an age where I realised that my handwriting isn't going to get any better. Like, it's only going to be this level of terrible. But, which is creating a lot of anxiety for me because now working in a semi-office sort of space, right? There's a lot.
Nagy's got a real job now. He won't stop fucking talking about it.
Congratulations about having a real job.
Real job. Yeah.
That's all right. Yeah. So how's Burke these days? Yeah. So how's Don Burke these days?
Yeah, he's doing well. He's on the rebound, I think. But the worst part about it is for me, the anxiety comes from the amount of birthdays you have in the office, and you have to write.
Well, really, we only have one Nagy every year.
No. But just like from a group.
Oh, a group.
And then you have to write in the birthday card. And then this isn't like you had a lot of time to write the birthday card because you're in a shared space and it's a secret. So someone hands you.
Pressure's really on, yeah.
That's the thing, and it's
got to be off the cuff. You've got to be.
Yeah.
You've got to, you got to express wit, but also brevity. Yeah, and especially because 400 people are also signing it, you have to cram it in. It's like, God forbid you're the last person to sign it.
Well, that's the thing. And
God forbid.
You get it slipped to you very quietly, and they'll be like, Kathy's in the next room. You got 4 seconds to write something. And it's like, and you're like, oh, Christ.
Make it the most monumental thing she's ever read in her life.
You just drawn one of those S's? Like those little cool S's?
That's the only thing I've got.
Happy birthday.
But I'm so anxious about my handwriting that I forget to write anything like... And then recently I wrote, Happy Birthday 40th. Like, and I was like, and then you can't draw attention to it. And God forbid you cross anything out because it's like this target that you just draw your eyes to as soon as you can see them over the card and go, Happy Birthday 40th. That's a bit odd. You have to keep it clean and just sort of like aim. Like what I do now is aim for the bottom left corner because it's easily just skipped over. But it's just you never thought of this when you're younger. You thought, as I'm going to get older, my handwriting's going to get better. Does not get better.
Oh.
If anything,
I've been experiencing. Sorry, Neil. I was going to say I've experienced a bit of sexism about my handwriting. Now, I have what I consider fairly, neat, decent, cute handwriting.
Yeah.
And I have been told that.
That's very nice. That is very nice. All caps. Caps lock.
I'm not entirely sober when I wrote that, so that doesn't really count. But I have been told that I have handwriting like a girl.
Yeah.
Which I always took as a compliment because growing up, the girls always had the best handwriting.
They did, yeah.
And for someone to compare me to a woman in that sense, I was immensely proud. I said, good. And, I'm really the feminist icon that 2017's been calling out for, I think.
Yeah, I get
Would you agree?
Well, yes. Yes, for years I've been claiming that. And usually when I get things that...
He's offered to pay for the surgery.
When I get, like, you do this like a girl, it's
Kickstarter starts now, guys. If you guys want to donate towards the sex change right here as well.
Hey, next episode of Mad Monday is hosted by Nagy and Leanne.
but I'm often under heaps of pressure because my girlfriend Cassie, she won't mind me saying this, but she's going to watch and be very upset that I am saying it. Has even
She's not even real, guys.
No, she is.
She really?
Because I was convinced
she's not like just that girl that's at Woolworths in aisle 3 that you saw every couple
which
of weeks.
is what I thought was the case.
Oh, she's my girlfriend. She goes to another school.
Now, Nagy was dating Cassie for about 3 years before I met Cassie. And
3 years?
We were all
Before
convinced.
I met her,
Elliot, the same. Our producer, Elliot, over there, was the same. We'd never met Cassie. We didn't, we didn't believe Nagy. For want of a better word, we knew Nagy quite well and didn't believe that any woman would willingly lay with him in, the bed of a relationship.
Nagy's a good-looking bloke, right? He's had his problems with Burke, but come on.
So then, the first time I met Cassie, and I remember this to the day I died, she came up to me and said, "Hello, Liam, I'm Cassie. See, I am real." And I said, "This chick's a winner. We're on.
We're onto something." But this is at a wedding, and this is the problem because it's the same.
I was hungover as hell.
There's only worse thing than a birthday card writing is a wedding card because you've bought into the gift for the card. So it's like it's a stamp saying that.
Are we meant to be giving cards at wedding? I haven't given anyone a wedding card.
You're meant to give a card.
Really?
At the very least, and with cash usually.
Shit.
Or a gift.
Sorry.
That's a hot.
All the weddings I've been to. Sorry, Oscar. Shit, I owe you a present.
But it's a
this is Mad Mondays. On Tuesdays, I'm going to have a little show with Liam called "How to Be a Big Boy."
Is the first step not to pour half a litre of wine into one glass?
No. That's the biggest glass. That's too big of a vessel you need for that bottle of wine. It's anyway. That's
we've got the whole second half.
There's too much wine in Newcastle after the V8s. There's just too much wine. There's just 4Xs. There's complete.
Which is what I found funny about the V8s. People didn't go to pubs.
Really?
Speaking to hospitality friends, and myself included, actually, we were quite busy. We got smashed. I don't know what I'm talking about. But all the other venues I spoke to, they were very quiet.
Yeah, but there's only so many places you can go.
Also, it's mostly my friends are cocktail wankers,
and they're serving drinks at the venue as well. So it's like you're drinking throughout the whole day, standing in the sun. It's like a festival, and then expecting the pubs.
A
festival of cars
for the restival.
This is the best kind of cars. Almost you can call it a super kind of car.
That must be why they call it that. Jeez, I love learning.
Yeah,
every day I learn something new in this life.
Every single one. But we're going to have a quick break. We'll be right back for the second half of Mad Mondays.
Feed us in, baby.
Welcome back.
Nice to be a single podcast with two guys that are on the same team.
Welcome back to the second half of Mad Mondays. We've also got Liam, you're still here, which is very good. And Milos.
Yes, I haven't gone anywhere.
Thank you very much. I've actually broken tradition, which is something we it's just
unforgivable.
Unforgivable in this show that I break tradition. But Liam, I forgot we have this Mad Monday. And we're not celebrating anything. What are we celebrating this Mad Monday?
Now, boys, what we're celebrating today, and to all our listeners out there, we're celebrating in the year 1810, the famous, infamous is probably a better word, the Burner Street hoax. Right. Now, that was in 1810, so 190-some years ago. I don't know. Heaps of years ago. This gentleman named Theodore Hook in Westminster in London.
Yeah.
He made a bet with his rich friend, said, I can make this particular house the most exclusive house, most wanted house in London. And he started sending out letters to servicemen, deliverymen, workers, just people, just saying, come around to this house on this day. And let me tell you, Mrs. Tottenham of 54 Burner Street, London, was very annoyed on this day when every bastard and his dog from the city of London turned up from the borough of Westminster and annoyed her.
And then
Isn't that a great prank?
She was so angry she moved to the east of Newcastle. And then
and now she complains about the supercars.
Yeah. Right. Isn't that a great prank, though?
Yeah.
Just, good. I really hate you, so I'm going to get everyone to go to your house on one particular day. He didn't even hate him. He was like, I want your house to be famous.
What was his name?
His name was Theodore Hook.
Theodore Hook, thank you very much. Thank you, Theodore. Well done.
Cheers, Theo.
Thank you, Theo. It's Theo.
But I guess to wit, there's some pranks that have made history throughout time. What would your dream prank be? Without the limits of money, Milos, what would you do to a person to drive them to the brink of insanity?
Look, I don't work for ABC, but I wouldn't put Don Burke back on stage for a little while. I don't think he's allowed back for quite some time.
Let him stew. Let him stew for a while, and the flavors become better. Much like you plant him, and then you let him grow.
Yeah.
No, I think we've seen the last of Don Burke on television. That's not a current
Welcome to the Naughty Plant channel. Shout out to all the rows with those thorns. I don't fucking know. This isn't a plant station. Thanks for having us, guys.
But he's actually really pioneered the work in the raising of penis fly traps. Sorry, Don. I know you. Don's actually an avid listener of the show.
That's right.
Listens weekly to. Fortnightly. How often do we release this show?
This is your
listens fortnightly
to.
Donnie Burke listens fortnightly to Mad Mondays, and we hope we don't lose you as a listener.
Yeah.
I love how you remembered something from 1810, but you can't figure out 2 weeks.
Do they allow radios in Silverwater maximum security prison?
We can push for that. Free Burke will be a hashtag this week.
Free Don Burke.
Free Don Burke. But Milos, it was interesting that you were talking just off when we weren't recording before, because we came from a very strong rugby league roots, which we spoke about before. But you actually have this connection to rugby league. I believe you actually have Wayne Bennett's phone number. Is this correct?
Mate, you've got Wayne who can call us?
Mate, yeah. Let's give him a bell.
Oh, please do. Absolutely.
Yeah,
this is our first.
We've never had a guest of such high caliber.
So let's see if we got him.
Let's see, and we'll see if we can hopefully hear this. Sorry for listeners, guys. We'll hopefully clear this up.
We'll fix
Fuck listeners, we're not sorry. It's Wayne Bennett. I want to talk to him.
Oh, that's better.
Oh, fuck.
Hello?
Yeah, hello. This is Andrew. I'm just here with the Newcastle Knights Joust page. I was just wondering, is Mundine there at all?
Yeah, just one moment. Put him through.
Thank you.
We got Chalk?
Yes, sorry. Yeah, that's what I've got at the moment.
We got Chalk on the show?
Yeah, I got Chalk
Oh
as
my
well.
God, we got Chalk.
What's going on? Who that?
Hey, Chalk, it's Liam. How are you, mate? From Mad Mondays in the Joust. What's happening, brother? Sorry, can I say brother? Is that
Same
okay?
thing. We're just chilling out here, helping out Wayne and all that, and that's what we're doing. We're just training and all that. All the boys in the car at the moment, they're all like, reading Facebook in the car and all that. And then soon we're gonna go run some laps, mate.
This is incredible.
I do know what you mean.
So you're with Wayne Bennett, is that correct?
Yeah, he's around the corner. I don't know. He's trying to get some of them out, but one of them, the polar bear, he locked himself out, so he's got to go help him try and find a way in and all that sort of thing. Because Wayne used to be a policeman and all that, so he knows how to break in the car. We got some things that we're doing and all that. So what's up with you boys?
Now, man, speaking of Wayne, you mentioned he used to be a policeman. There are some, certain beliefs held about policemen in Australia. How's he treated you there, man?
Not too bad. I'm just assistant coach.
Oh, you're just the assistant. Okay, so but he has subjugated you and put you into an assistant role.
Yeah, that's my thing, baby. I mean, I can do anything. I could take on Jeff Horn tomorrow if I need to. I can coach these chumps all the way to this Saturday 8 p.m. It should be Australia versus Tonga, but because they got robbed and all that. But we're just gonna get them over the line, and that's my thing. Keep them off the grog, keep them off the women, keep them off all the KFC and all that, and then make sure these chumps that win. I can't understand what they're saying because they all talk like Game of Thrones and all that.
Look, I've never seen James Graham. I've never seen James Graham in person, but I don't imagine he has a problem with the women keeping off him.
Chock, if you can hear.
That's the thing.
Chock, can you hear me? Can you? Not that I don't believe you that Wayne's there, but can you put Wayne on it at all?
Yeah, I'll find him. He's over here. Wait a minute. Yeah, he's a busy guy. Come on. Hey, Wayne. These boys doing joust. Have a chat. I know you. Yeah, come over here. Yeah. What's going on over there? Hello?
Hello, Wayne. How are you?
Is this Newcastle?
Yeah, this is Newcastle.
You guys going all right, are you?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
we're doing all right. Thank you for asking, Wayne.
Well, yeah, you left us a few years ago, Wayne. How have you been since? The town's been wondering.
Well, every now and then, I come down and visit with a few people down there in Newcastle. And I went, I've got a new girlfriend down here. You probably all found out about that. I went to a restaurant at Nobby's Beach the other day, and we were at the Nobby's Lighthouse, and Anyway, I took her down to the supercars, the 500 on the weekend. She loved all that. But look, I've got a lot of boys here at the moment. I just got a couple of blokes out of trouble before. I'll be managing a couple of players pretty soon as well. Valentine Homes as well. Not the player. He's got a business called Valentine Homes now. That construction in residential areas and so on. But I got Chuck here. He's a good bloke. He doesn't know much about football anymore, but just keeping the boys off the grog.
Still trying to get that Mayweather fight. He's still trying to get that Mayweather fight, yeah?
Yeah, he's not going to let go of that anytime soon. I mean, the bloke's 42. I think, he's probably got another maybe 20 years, he reckons, left in him. You reckon Muhammad Ali was still shaking his fist around when he was 76. So it's not over for anyone yet.
Now, Wayne, you talk about the Mayweather fight. There's talks in the works that I've heard of you actually getting Mayweather to sign for Brisbane. Wayne, what's the word on that, man?
Mayweather, I'm not really bloody sure about getting Mayweather going down here. We don't have enough money on the East Coast, just to get him under the bloody salary cap or anything like that.
So you have one of those? Hang on, hold up. Is Wayne Bennett confirming that the Broncos have a salary cap?
Look, we're doing what we can. Well, half the players are bailed out of jail to get into the team in the first place, so a lot of them are working for nothing.
Wayne, I can't thank you enough for being on the show. Thank you so much. Can you give Chock a big thanks for us as well? Let's we
can put the bastard back on the phone.
Yeah.
let him say bye as well. Let him say bye.
Yeah, all right.
Thanks, Wayne. Cheers, mate.
I'm doing it. Wait a minute. He's putting the ice cream down. Yeah, what's this? We all just take it easy. Everybody come and watch the show. Saturday night, 8 p.m. It's going to be a big one. And go England, go Australia. Whoever wins, nobody cares. Nah, me. And because they'll watch the Wallabies or something like that instead. And, keep your eyes on the screen, because soon I'm going to do a Lowe's ad.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Jock, and thank you to Wayne.
Yeah, thank you.
Unbelievable.
I've got more combinations than you know. I put you guys to sleep faster than Big Dog.
Thank you so much, Mundine. Thank you, Bennett. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
All right, enjoy it. Thank you. See you, mate.
I'll tell you what.
Isn't it amazing the people you get on the show?
We started so humbly. We got some the Narmate guys on last week. We got yourself on this week. But we never really thought we could get in touch with both two sporting legends of Wayne Bennett.
Two heroes of Australian sport, Wayne Bennett and Anthony Chocolate Mundine.
I'm crying of laughter, but it's all excreting from sweat from my skull at the moment. Yeah, it's hot in here.
That's incredible. They did give it also spring the show on Saturday. We got the Big Dog Pod Saturday. Who's be performing for the comedy show?
Yeah, so people don't know. I've been on these shows monthly at the Happy Wombat called Big Dog Pod or Big Dog Comedy, and basically I kind of want to have a Newcastle legend or very ingrained in Newcastle culture where I have some notable figures to kind of come on the show with me, along with comedians from Melbourne and Sydney, professionals at that capacity. But emceeing me on the show for that night, we've got Nathan Ross.
Who?
Nathan Ross.
That's comedy. That's comedy I made.
Well, pretty much every comedian in Sydney's been going like, "You're emceeing with fucking who?" And I'm like,
"That's how we got on the show." I said, "That's comedy," and Milos believed us, and he's put us on the show for Saturday night.
Yeah.
He thinks we're comedians because I said that's comedy once.
Yeah, so Nathan Ross will be emceeing with me, which is going to be great.
Now, you have a close personal relationship with Rossi.
He's...
Some would say an intimate relationship.
We don't have to go into that. But, so his partner is my cousin. Yeah, so they've got two beautiful children together, Zaya and little Willow. Yeah, so
Willow and the Z.
So you'd have
and
an insight. Has he signed for 15, 20 years yet? What's the game?
I can't talk about that. But maybe he'll reveal it on Saturday. For people that show up, maybe he'll tell you what he's doing for forever.
So what's that?
And if he doesn't reveal that, users, please berate him until he signs for 25 years. Lifetime contract to the Knights. Please and thank you for Rossi. I've already approached Philip Gardner, said let's get it happening, but
don't get that reference at all.
Lifetime contract for Rossi for the Knights. bound to happen.
So what's whereabouts is this at the Happy Wombat?
So this will be at the Happy Wombat on Saturday. Tickets are still available, but it will sell out.
Yeah.
You guys are going to be involved in some capacity as well. In what way? We'll keep that a surprise.
Ideally, the lightest capacity you have.
That's right.
We're really going to drag this show down around us.
No, it'd be a good celebration of the whole year about having the show. Super Hubert's going to be there as
And
well.
that's it. There's so much to celebrate about what
Yeah,
you've
that's
been
right.
doing with Big Dog. I mean, you've had huge guests on. You've had, your Super Huberts. Obviously, Rossi, an icon of Newcastle. You've had
Mundine.
Goxie on. You've had the man Mundine. Wayne Bennett we just saw.
Yeah.
I mean, you've really built a hell of a good, Newcastle comedy podcast. And it seems to be going amazingly.
How long has it been around for? Could I ask
Yeah,
it?
so we started in January, and I started with beautiful boy Elliot, who you guys signed for this podcast, but he used to be with us first before he quit and went to greener pastures.
we paid him more, $5 whole a week.
we poached him. We poached him.
You poached him. But Elliot's a beautiful boy. And we started at the Press Bookhouse, and we had Rossi on the first one, Aaron Gox, who's been exploding recently. And I've kind of dropped the podcast just recently, just to kind of give it a bit of a breather. I've been doing offline ones. So we're going to drop that until just to the new year, just to kind of rejingle a few things. But this will just be a pure live performance, and it's going to be wild. It's going to be so much fun. I'm really excited about it.
I went along to the one, was it 2 weeks ago? It might have been
last month. Yeah.
Last month? Yeah, okay.
All of the days kind of merge into one for Nagy.
They do.
Yeah.
But no, it was fantastic. I can't remember last time I went to a Newcastle show and saw some really good comedy. Obviously, there was always like these sort of like blips of comedy. Like they had the open mic night at the Ori, which it had moments, but at the same time, but this has really given itself some really prominence that it's something really special and that it's something that hasn't happened in Newcastle.
We
for a
had
long
the coming
time.
of age surf movie, Newcastle, which
Yep.
unintentionally one of the greatest comedies of all time. Completely accidentally, it's bloody hilarious to watch.
I always thought-
Actually, dear friend and avid listener of the show, Jesse Adams, was one of the surfing doubles.
Ah, excellent.
I always thought
Not dear friend.
I
I've met him a number of times.
I watched that movie Newcastle, expecting to see some stuff about Newcastle, but really it was a lot about surfing. I think it was a murder involved with a killing.
There was a murder?
No, I think
I didn't watch
No,
the
that was
movie.
Black Rock. That was Black Rock.
Black Rock.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that was with Heath Ledger, and Jade Ryan from Cheese TV was in that as well.
No way.
Jade was
Yeah.
in that.
We talked about that
Really?
actually on the show as well. Yeah, he was talking about when he was at the old Ducks Nuts having spliffs with Heath Ledger. So,
Was it on Topless Wednesday? They really
Oh, this
missed
is
a
back in
trick
the
there. They
90s,
could have gone
yeah.
Topless Tuesday at the Ducks, but they went topless waitresses on a Wednesday. I always thought that was odd. I mean, you've got the alliterative marketing shabam, and yet you go on Wednesday. I was always confused why the Ducks Nuts had topless waitresses on a Wednesday.
or topless waitresses at all. But,
all,
you know.
Well, no, I'm not confused why they had them at all. It's a wonderful service they deliver, But if you're doing topless waitress, you do it on Tuesday. Titties out Tuesday. Come on. I mean,
that's our quote for the week. Thank you, William.
it's marketing
I
101.
don't have this type of budget on mine.
It's marketing 101.
All right, where do you get these?
I don't know all these sounds.
So this is the. Can you explain this to me as
You
well? 'Cause
press
I
the
was looking at
computer,
I know.
and the sound happens.
I
It's
know,
amazing.
I'm aware of that, but you're only allowed to touch this once per episode. Is
Yes,
that correct?
that's correct.
And you've already used it.
I've already used it,
He's
but
already-
I used it well.
Yeah.
No, I'd argue I wasted this week's
I
one.
pull it this way, so I can't let him touch it. I always found interesting that
Not the first time
Random
he said.
button
Not
time.
the first time Nagy said that.
Oh fuck!
it's a
Wait,
stretch. Lunacy, absolute lunacy.
Yeah,
that's
that's
just
great.
involved in there. But like, I always found that Newcastle, the movie, didn't really do Newcastle justice. I know I'm backtracking slightly here, but I always thought that Bootman was the real unsung Newcastle.
Oh,
Look,
for sure.
Bootman, yeah, if you're an amateur, Tap Dogs, if we're being real.
What?
Yeah, but Tap Dogs wasn't the film. Boot Dog, Bootman was. Yeah, you know.
I know, and that's the thing that worries me. Everyone says, "Oh, it's all Bootman, it's all Bootman." You got to realize the hard work the Tap Dogs put in before Bootman.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was
Bootman
never a
was
film.
merely the wasn't it?
Yeah.
The film was Bootman.
I thought it was a film.
No. That
I
was
thought it did Tap
the
Dogs.
live show.
Ah,
Oh, you
okay.
idiot! but there's two things. One that we managed to get. Was it? Who was the main guy? Was it Andy Garcia?
Dean.
No.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it was Adam Garcia. Or
Adam
Andy-
Garcia.
yeah.
Adam Garcia.
Oh, I
Yep.
thought his
Sam
name was-
Worthington was in it as well.
Sam
the
Worthington
Avatar
was in it?
dude.
Hold the phone.
Yeah.
Sam Worthington was in.
Yeah,
Tap
yeah.
Dogs?
And it was all filmed at Carrington as well.
Really?
Yeah.
It's it was incredible because if you
Oh, I
watch
didn't
it,
know he was in that.
if you watch it, you're seeing all this thing, and he's like, see your family leaves Carrington. He's like, I'm off to Sydney, and then he's like, what? And he's going down down Strzelecki, like, you know, like to ride down the Merriweather Beach, like on his bike. You're like, why are you going to Sydney
He's
that
getting
way?
further into the city. He's going the opposite direction.
You've gone
The research on that movie really left a lot to be desired.
Yeah.
I really don't think they researched as much as they should.
They probably didn't, but it was also incredible because they had Sam Worthington on it when he hit his Avatar fame on KOFM, and they said Sam Worthington, we treat you as a Newcastle son because, you know, you were in Bootman, and that was like, you know, one of our straight favourite films. And then he's like, yeah, I remember Newcastle. He goes, you guys still got fannies going there?
I love it. It is the first thing he asked.
He goes, we go like, yeah, fannies are still going. He goes, that's going to be the next Underbelly fannies. Which is scarily true, I think, of anyone that's set foot in there.
He's a dear friend of the show, isn't he? Sam Worthington listens
Worthington.
religiously.
Yeah,
he loves the show. Loves the show, Sam Worthington.
I had him on the
We had to upload and send him episodes while he was filming Avatar. It was really...
Yeah.
It was tough for us, wasn't it, Ellie?
Oh, crazy. I'm a bit of a film buff as well. I know you guys don't own a film, but James Cameron's filming Avatar 2, 3, 4, and 5 all at the same time at the moment.
I know.
It infuriates me. Insane. How
it infuriates me because where is Titanic 2? When are we getting Titanic 2, James? Fuck off with your Avatar nonsense. Let's focus on what really we want to see. Titanic 2.
And what would Titanic 2 be?
Well, I don't know. Clive Palmer had an idea to build the second Titanic. You remember this?
Yeah.
Clive Palmer a few years ago, he wanted to build a second Titanic in Australia that was the exact size, shape, design as Titanic. It was like, hang on. We all know why Titanic failed.
Yeah.
Let's do exactly the same.
So they built the Titanic 2 movie. I don't know how that stretched out to 3 hours. It would just be like, Clive Palmer, what are you doing? I'm going to shit. Build Titanic 2.
No, he wanted to make a boat Titanic 2. I'm not talking movie.
Yeah.
Clive Palmer wanted to build an exact replica of the Titanic and sail it as a cruise liner.
I saw the making of the Titanic 2, and it was a pretty sad sort of story. It was just a smaller boat sort of just hooking and mopping up corpses, and it was very sad. But it was a very sad movie, and such a sad note to end the show on. But thank you so much for joining us, Milos. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah,
and
he's awesome.
and Liam, hopefully next week we might be back. But it's always a bit of a second guess.
So come on Saturday. The Joust Boys,
Saturday.
Rossi, Super Hubert, John Cruikshank from Sydney, Jen Carnivale, Comedy Central. It's an amazing lineup. You won't be disappointed.
Tickets can be purchased from
Sticky Tickets. So we'll post a link up in the thing as well. You guys can post a link or whatever, and then it'll be sick. We might even bring this little soundboard so we don't need Liam anymore.
We can cut them straight.
It's a slow phasing out, but they're making it very pointed that I'm being replaced.
I could just have like one thing just saying Liam going absolutely, which is a whole lot of pretty much what goes on here. But thank you so much, boys, for joining us. It's been a pleasure once more.
What a...